I'm Laura with Trustee Guidance, and welcome back to Trustee Wisdom. Today we're chatting about the real side of being a new trustee. Today we're talking about asking better questions of the estate attorney and therefore getting better answers. Have you ever walked out of a meeting with your estate attorney or accountant feeling more confused and less in control than when you walked in? I get it. This happens to so many new trustees. Today, I'm sharing what I call the Prepared Trustee Framework. 3 simple steps that completely changed how I felt in those conversations. It helped me stop feeling like a confused passenger and started feeling like I actually was steering the ship. And more importantly, I saved money, making sure that I received the best value for my attorney's time. Early on, had a meeting with the estate attorney helping my family's trust, and I showed up with a notebook, but no real plan. I just listened and nodded and left with pages and pages of notes that I didn't fully understand. And I had a seeking feeling that I still had no idea what was actually urgent and needed my attention. I remember thinking, I'm supposed to be in charge here, but I feel like I'm just along for the ride. I don't know what I'm doing. That's what I call the big overwhelm after that first meeting. Not knowing what to ask or what to prioritize, so common in the first few weeks and months as a new trustee, especially when you're not familiar with the estate. The good news doesn't have to stay that way. The Prepared Trustee Framework is exactly what helped me shift from reactive to prepared in my meetings with the estate attorney. And here's how it works. It can also work with any hired professional, like an accountant or an investment advisor, but we'll focus on the estate attorney. So, step 1, the first meeting. On your very first meeting with the estate attorney, take notes and ask what they need from you and exactly how and when to get that information back to them. At this time, establish how you will communicate. Is there a client portal, or will you both primarily email, phone, text? I know this sounds simple, but it's pretty powerful. Instead of guessing or sending random emails later, you get clear instructions right away. Here's some good questions to ask. What documents or information do you need from me right now? And what's the easiest way for me to send them? How do you prefer to receive updates or questions between meetings, email, shared folder, scheduled calls? What are the 3 most urgent things I should focus on in the next 7 to 14 days so I don't miss anything critical? Another one would be, what's the best way for me to stay on top of legal deadlines? When's our next meeting? This could depend on an event, like the accountant needs to get information back to you rather than a specific date. But it's important to know when you need to make sure you're meeting with the attorney next. Why this matters? It really reduces the back and forth that adds to your overwhelm. It shows that you're organized and serious and gives you immediately clarity instead of more uncertainty. You leave the meeting feeling like you have a clear next step instead of a foggy to-do list. Because that's how I felt the first meeting. Step 2, the follow-up meetings. For any consequential meeting afterwards, always come prepared with a list of your top 3 concerns or questions. This is your anchor. Without it, it's really easy to get pulled into every detail the professional brings up and leave with your questions completely unanswered. Then you're calling back, you're getting billed extra hours, all that kind of stuff. So things can change really quickly during the trust administration process, and odds are at every meeting you will have new questions. So how to use this framework. Before the meeting, write down your top 3 things that you're worried about right now and that you need clarity on. Bring the list with you on paper or phone. Don't just have it in your head because you'll forget. At the start or when appropriate, say things like, I have 3 main things I'd love to make sure we cover today. That way you won't get missed in the details that the attorney may be throwing at you. So here's some examples of some strong top 3 questions that new trustees often have, if you don't have any already. What are the most time-sensitive deadlines or tasks in the next 30 to 60 days? How should I handle requests or questions from family members right now? What records or documentation should I be keeping to protect myself and the trust? This keeps the conversation focused on what matters most to you instead of getting lost in the weeds. It also signals to the professional that you're thoughtful, you're concerned, and you are prepared. Just keep repeating this process at every meeting. Step 3, hiring a new professional. Sometimes a new trustee has the trust documents, but no estate attorney. This happened to one of my clients. A family member passed away, and when she went to make an appointment with the attorney that had created the trust, she found out he died. Oops. It was all natural causes, but so her first task as a new trustee was to hire a new attorney. If you need to hire an attorney or an accountant or any professional, I suggest interviewing 2 or 3 people with a short 10-minute call and ask each of them your top 3 issues, and then listen to how they would handle them. Taking 30 minutes to interview a couple of options can really save you months of frustration. You'll know if it's a good fit or not. On that short call, you can share your top 3 specific concerns for your situation, or you can ask some general questions such as, how would you typically help a new trustee in my exact situation with family communication, organization, timelines? What's one common mistake you see new trustees make that we could avoid? How do you like to work with clients who are grieving or feeling overwhelmed? Pay attention not just to what they say, but how they say it. Do they sound patient? Do they explain things clearly in normal, non-legalese language? Do they seem to understand the human side as well as the legal or the tax side? This helps you choose someone who is not only competent, but is also a good fit for you and your family's specific needs. Sometimes attorneys will provide client references, ask for them, and follow up. When you show up prepared, you reduce anxiety, you ask better questions, and you get better answers. It's not just managing a trust, you're protecting a legacy and protecting your own peace of mind. And this framework helps you do all 3. This framework is one of my more practical tools. I wish I had it from day one just for myself. If you're in the middle of working with professionals right now, try the first step in your next meeting and just see what happens. Hey, as I conclude, just remember, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a CPA, I'm not an investment advisor, nor do I play one on the internet. This is practical point of view. I've been there side of trusteeship because I have been there. The stuff that helps you feel supported while the professionals handle the technical, legal, and tax work. Hire the professionals. That's what I did. And use tools like this framework to stay in the driver's seat. If you want more information, you're interested, my book, The Trustee's Guide to Trust Administration, is on Amazon. If you want even more real-life stories and systems, I've included it in the notes. So in conclusion, thank you for learning more, for being better, for being prepared, and go into your next conversation organized, in control. And I'll see you in the next video.